We have a fix and we've mistake-proofed it. What we still don't have is evidence. A pilot is how you get evidence without betting the whole operation on a guess. A small slice, a fixed window, written rules for calling it off. And above all, a decision made in advance about what would count as success. Because the fastest way to fool yourself is to run a change, look at the numbers afterwards, and only then decide what you were hoping for. Same route as always. Go to Toolkit, Improve. Piloting plan, scope, duration, metrics, rollback. No runs on this project yet, so we start one. And look at what this form asks for before it asks anything else. Not what are you changing. It already knows that. Scope. Start and end dates. Rollback criteria. Stakeholders. Success metrics. Every one of those is a question you want answered while you're still calm, rather than halfway through a bad week. And notice this is the fourth tool we've opened from that same menu. The charter, the process map, the tests, and now the pilot all hang off one project. That's why the report at the end can tell a single story instead of 5 separate ones. Scope first, and the discipline here is to keep it small. Billing tickets only, one team of 5 agents for 2 weeks. Everything else stays exactly as it is, because if we change 3 things at once and the number moves, we have learned nothing about which one moved it. Dates. The 17th of August through the 28th. 10 working days. Long enough to see a pattern. Short enough that we're not living with a bad idea. Then rollback criteria, and this is the part almost everybody skips, written down before we start. Stop and revert if first response gets worse in any week. If the 130 auto-assign fires more than twice in a week. Because that means the sweep isn't actually happening. Or if any agent's open ticket load climbs above 15. Notice that middle one. That's our poka-yoke doubling as an alarm. If the safety net keeps catching, the thing it's protecting isn't working. And stakeholders. Marcus runs the sweep, Dana backs him up, Priya sponsors it, Alex owns the project. 2 success metrics, and both get decided now rather than later. First response time in hours, target 6 or better. That's the number this whole project exists to move. And sweep completed on time, target 10 out of 10 working days, because a fix that only ran on 6 days out of 10 hasn't been tested. It's been half-tested, and the header keeps count as we fill it in. 11 days, 2 metrics. That 11 is the calendar span between the 2 dates. Our 10 is working days, Monday the 17th to Friday the 28th, which is the number that matters to a rota. For the proof, we go back to a tool we've already used. But from a different phase. Go to Toolkit and this time Analyze, because testing whether something actually changed is an analyze job no matter which phase you happen to be standing in. Hypothesis test. No runs on this project yet. The one we built back in Chapter 8 lived in the Workbench sandbox, not here. New run. And this time the test is a paired NT, not the 2-sample T we used before, and that difference is the whole point of this lesson. 2-sample compares 2 independent groups, billing tickets against mobile app tickets. Paired compares the same subject with itself, before and after. Our 6 pairs are 6 agents, Marcus, Dana, Priya, Sam, Thomas, and Ivy. Sample A is each one's average first response before the pilot, and those are real numbers, straight out of the file we uploaded back in Chapter 7. Sample B is the same 6 people, during the pilot fortnight. Here's why pairing matters. Every agent brings their own ticket mix, their own shift, their own experience. In a 2-sample test, all of that becomes noise you have to overcome. In a paired test, each person is their own control, so the only thing left in the comparison is the change we made. And there's the result. T equals 8.312. 5 degrees of freedom. 6 pairs, -1. And P equals 0.0004. But the interval is what you take to your sponsor. 95% confident that the true improvement is somewhere between 1.57 and 2.98 hours per ticket. Not it feels faster. Between 1.5 hours and 3 hours. And here is the range. Be careful what you claim from this, though. 6 pairs is a small pilot. The p-value is tiny, not because the sample is large, but because the effect was consistent. Every single agent improved. That's encouraging. It is not the same as proof that it holds its scale through a quiet August across every product area, which is exactly why the pilot has an end date and why the next chapter exists at all. Before this becomes how we work, there's one more question. How will it fail once it's live and nobody's watching it? Next lesson, FMEA. Every way the new process can break, scored, ranked, and dealt with before it breaks. See you there.